It's 4 o'clock, so I'll call the meeting to order, the Design Review Board. Roll call, please. Dean, I think you're on mute.
Muted once. All right. Board Member Helzer. Board Member Kitchen.
Here.
Board Member Noonan.
Here.
Board Member Martins.
Here.
And I will report to the board that on Monday, Caden Butler was appointed to the Design Review Board as a 5th member, but he is unable to attend today, so we will record him as absent, but we knew he would not be able to obtain to participate today, but he was appointed on Monday, fairly short notice. So we do have a quorum, which allows us to proceed, and I'll ask Margie to confirm that the packet has been posted and we've met our open meetings requirement.
Yes, the packet was posted and required notice of today's meeting was provided.
Okay, that gives us jurisdiction to proceed to consideration of last meeting's minutes.
Okay, yes. Hopefully everybody's had an opportunity to review the minutes from the January 14th, 2021 regular meeting. Anybody have any comments, corrections, changes? If not, I'll accept a motion to approve.
I so move to approve.
Katie moves. And Jennifer seconds. If no further discussion then,
I'll take
all in favor?
Vote. Board
Say it
member.
again. I'm sorry, Dean, I didn't hear you.
I'll take a roll call vote on the minutes. Board Member Noonan.
Aye.
Board Member Kitchen.
Aye.
And Board Member Martin.
Aye.
So the minutes have been approved, which would bring us to new business.
Yes. Tell us about application CC 21-1, please.
This is an application that was received by staff to install a new wall sign on a building that's addressed as 104 East Iron Avenue. And the lot over there is 70 feet wide, facing iron, and 75 feet deep. And for many years, it served as the headquarters for Homestead Savings and Loan. And it was remodeled in 1971 extensively into its present appearance. And so you go by, the only opening on the front of the building is a set of glass doors with an arched window above. In 1992, it was remodeled into law offices. It was purchased in 2006 and converted into offices for United Capital Management. As the board may know, United Capital Management recently relocated over to 227 North Santa Fe. So we have new owners and new tenants and occupants. And the proposal here is to install a wall sign that would be 4 by 10, 40 square feet. It would be an aluminum sign with an aluminum frame. And the proposed sign would be placed on the left or east side of the front entryway into the building. And Mr. Hers has an elevation drawing of that for you. It's being installed to reflect the change in ownership and occupancy of the building. It appears that will consist of a vinyl sign panel placed over an aluminum frame. It'll have painted letters and a business logo. The sign falls within the size limits for a building based on the 46 feet of building frontage. Doesn't appear that it will dominate the front facade of the building. Our primary comment or question is its location, particularly in location in relation to the sidewalk. Our observation is that most of the wall signs in the downtown area are at least doorway threshold or higher in elevation. So we would request that the applicant explain why the sign is being placed so low on the building wall, or if that is just an approximation of where it would be located. But we do think it would be coordinated with the overall facade. It would emphasize the structural elements of the facade. It's not covering up any significant architectural feature. It's going to utilize either dark brown or black lettering that would complement the building materials on the building. And it does conform with the C4 sign size limitations. And so we do think it does conform with the downtown side guidelines. Our primary question would just be to confirm the proposed sign colors and clarify why the sign is being placed so low on the building wall. And so following that, you would have the option to approve a certificate of compatibility for the wall sign. You could approve the application subject to any conditions. You could postpone consideration of this application in order to acquire additional information concerning the sign proposal. If you would do that, then the date.
I lost audio.
Anybody else having difficulty with audio?
Okay,
No.
now it's back. It said, just told me my internet connection had jumped or whatever.
So a third option would be to postpone consideration if you don't think you have enough information at today's meeting, or you could deny the application. So again, we just request that the applicant confirm the sign colors, discuss the placement of the sign in relationship to the sidewalk and the height of the building wall, and following that, we would recommend option 2, that the permit be approved, and if there's any significant changes to the design or materials that were presented today, that it would be presented back to staff to determine whether additional review is needed. So with that, I think that's a summation of staff's observations. I'd be open to any questions, and then we'd want to hear from the applicant.
Dean, when
Okay,
you were showing us the previous picture of what it used to be before, it almost looks like they have a sign in that exact same location. Because that's what my question, why it was so low, but I think that last picture had, whoever it was before, they had their sign that low as well. So I wonder if that was why they did that.
I'm not. So Dustin's put up a sign that something that I haven't seen. So
Right there, that looks like it's just as low there.
that the United Capital Management sign, Dustin?
Yes, this would have been taken in spring of 2020. So this is before they moved, and that's the previous sign
Okay.
in a similar location.
So the proposal is basically to place it in the same location.
Yeah, very near it appears.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't, when I researched that, and I could have overlooked it, but I didn't see any evidence that the design review board had acted on or approved any previous wall signs at this location. So if or how that was approved, I'm not sure. I'd have to do additional research, but that's probably fair to say that this location is simply matches as a replacement for what was there from a previous tenant.
okay. Cassie, you're representing Trinity Nursing in the business there. So is that, do you concur with what Dean was saying? That
Yeah, absolutely. The other sign was lower because it was a bit smaller. So just for purposes of seeing the sign from the road, we decided to raise it approximately 1.5 feet from where that sign, from the bottom of the old sign to the bottom of the new sign, is approximately 1.5 feet taller. It just centers it up with the top of the door trim. Just makes it a little more visually pleasing, a little easier to see from the road as well. But yes, that was why we had considered putting it there in the first place, was because we knew that based on our Google Maps research, the old sign had been in a similar location.
and What about the colors again? Can you confirm?
So it will
what
be, it will have a white background, as shown in the example, and then the colors are their logo colors, which are a gray. It's actually called middle gray in the vinyl industry, and blue. So it would be exactly what their logo is. We've already installed the logoing, the same colors on their door, which I wish I had taken a picture of, but I failed to do so because it was cold. But you can see here on this example that it is gray and blue with the white background.
Okay, thank you. Do you have anything else, Cassie, you'd like to add, or?
Gleason Signs will be doing the installation. We contract and work with them regularly. Just to throw that out there, I had left that portion blank on the application that I'd sent in because I was still talking with them on whether or not they'd have time to do it. So, excuse me, Gleason Signs will be doing the installation. They're also constructing the frame. Basically, what I'm doing is applying the vinyl and then giving it over to them and getting this approval as well. So,
Thank you.
if you have any other questions for me, just let me know.
Yeah. Katie, Jennifer, do you have any questions, comments?
Is the lettering where it says Trinity, is that going to be gray as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay. And I don't believe we have anybody from the public otherwise present to make comment or with that. So if there is no other discussion.
I don't see anybody, Gary, so.
Okay, thank you. If there's no further discussion, we'll accept a motion to approve or to disapprove.
I can make a motion that we accept option 2, that they let us know if there's any significant changes.
Okay, thank you, Jennifer. And do I hear a second?
Second.
Second from Katie. All right, then. No further discussion. We'll take a vote.
So we'll see who in favor of the motion. Board Member Kitchen,
Aye.
Board Member Noonan,
Aye.
Board Member Martins.
Aye.
Okay, so that certificate of compatibility application is approved. What we'll do is put that approval in writing. We'll get that to Cassie, and we'll also provide that to Gleason and Sons. Of course, Cassie will inform them that it's been approved, but we'll make sure that they get a copy so they know it's had the board's approval.
Thank you.
Thank you. And you can say you're welcome to stay, but if you'd like to go, Cassie, that's fine too. So,
See you later.
Thank you. Bye. Guess we're down to 3.2 on the agenda, administrative items, the 2020 Design Review Board annual report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Each year at the conclusion of the year, the Salina City Commission and Mayor asks its appointed and advisory boards to prepare and submit a report that kind of summarizes their activities, what number of cases, what types of cases, and then they're also very interested in the membership and also in attendance. And so the annual report is a means by which we can communicate if we have a need for additional members to be recruited and appointed. It's also, they want board members to serve that have good attendance at meetings, and so they ask for a record of meeting attendance. So we have put that together here. We just summarized that you had 11 regular meetings that you conducted last year, with some of the challenges that we had in 2020 with having public meetings and now transitioning to Zoom, but you reviewed 17 applications. 13 of those were similar to this afternoon, certificate of compatibility. And then there were 4 sidewalk dining areas that this board reviewed for Yaya, Starbucks, Martinelli's, and Dagny's Ice Cream. And so we'd primarily ask you to look at what we have for your reported attendance to see if that agrees with your recollection. And then we have our roster with member information and mailing address and contact. And if there's anything there that's out of date or incorrect, you could bring that to Margie's attention. I can report that I reached out to Penny Bettles and told her that we currently only have 4 appointed members to a 7-member board, and encouraged her to reach out to see if there were interest from downtown business or property owners to serve. And she has done that. I've been contacted by a couple of individuals, but in the meantime, Caden Butler, who's an attorney with the downtown law firm, was appointed on Monday. So we are up to 5 members, which would be helpful. But primary purpose today is just to report to you on your activity and workload in 2020 and have you look at your attendance records and your contact information to make sure we're conveying the correct information to the City Commission.
The only item that I noticed in this report was this page, actually Exhibit A. Are the labels backwards? Because it shows number of meetings attended, just looking at Maggie Gillum, as 7, but she was eligible to attend 6. Shouldn't it be the other way around?
I think they are transversed.
Okay.
I don't, that it's possible that was a carryover from something that was done from a previous year that didn't get caught, but you're exactly right. It should be exactly the opposite. The left-hand column should be the total number of meetings you're eligible to attend, and then the middle column should be number attended, and that's how you arrive at the percentages.
Right.
So,
it just looks like the headings, were misaligned.
Yeah,
Otherwise, from my experience,
I think the headings need to be flipped. But I think the percentages are correct as long as we didn't count you absent when you were here or something along those lines. And then when you have members that go off in August, and then we had 2 resignations that occurred in 2020. So we go back in time to make sure that we have captured those. And I know we had John come to a Heritage Commission meeting and talk about his retirement. We didn't do that with this board, but just for the benefit of the board, in end of September, John Berger, who'd been staffing this board for the last 20 years, retired. And so Dustin and myself are now staffing this and picking up, still learning some of the things that John had done in the past. So we think we're pretty current on what our need is, and so we do have now up to 5 members and 2 openings. But we will get those columns fixed, and that's one of the reasons we present it to you to look at, because sometimes we stare at it and we don't even see those things. So it's good to get another set of eyes looking at them. So what would the expected action would be is if there's any other corrections or things that you'd like to see revised or added, then a motion to transmit this report to the City Commission on your behalf would be in order.
Okay, would someone like to make a motion to present the report or forward the report as presented with the adjustment we spoke of on the attended versus eligible to attend?
I so move.
Second it.
Okay, Katie moved, Jennifer seconded. Dean, we'll have roll call vote.
So all those in favor of transmitting this report on to the City Commission, Board Member Kitchen,
Aye.
Board Member Noonan,
Aye.
Board Member Martins,
Aye.
Okay, so we will forward that information on to the city commission and make note of the fact that we're up to 5, but that this is a 7-member board, and we're very thankful for your faithful attendance, but it's not good to be operating so close to a quorum. So the more members we have, the better chance that we'll always have a quorum to conduct business.
Okay, then, thank you. Do we have any preliminary discussion items?
We do not, other than the Carriage Commission met yesterday, and in 2021 they want to receive some additional information about the feasibility or pros and cons of having a Main Street Santa Fe type historic district, and that obviously it intersects with this board and what its role and assignments are. But there's a number of communities that have made their main streets historic districts, and the reasoning behind that, we've had a couple of properties, the Lee Warehouse building, most recently the National Bank of America building, where the building owner will seek a historic designation for that particular building, because if it is designated as a state or national register historic property, then the developer can get tax credits of up to 45% to help finance the improvements to the building. So the way that works is the tax credits are sold to investors, and the purchase of those credits then creates equity that can be injected into the project. So on the Steeple Theater renovation, the Steeple Theater is on the National Register of Historic Places, and they utilized historic tax credits to help with the financing of a lot of that renovation. And so if you have a historic district, then every building that's in the district is potentially eligible for historic tax credits. There's a flip side of that, in that there's usually strings attached to the tax credits in terms of how you do your rehabilitation of the building. And so the Heritage Commission wanted to receive more information on that, and as we provide that, we'll probably provide the same information to this board, and maybe have a study session on historic districts and what that means, and a little bit about historic tax credits. But there's a number of properties, including outside the downtown, the Norton Apartments over on East Iron, the Lowell School building, the former St. John's Hospital. There's an application for historic tax credits to assist with its renovation. So we may schedule a time in this spring to kind of have a study session or an agenda item with this board, just to discuss with you historic tax credits, how they're used, how they're advantageous, how they're not advantageous, just so you're on the same page with what we're providing the Heritage Commission.
Okay, very good, thank you. Any unfinished or other business?
I'm at this point, do not have any pending application in hand for your meeting on the second Thursday of February, but we will keep this board informed, and if there are no agenda items that are filed, we'll send you a meeting cancellation notice. But for the foreseeable future, Your regular scheduled meetings are going to be once a month, the second Thursday of the month. We did the fourth Thursday this time because of the need to have you review the annual report. And if things get into a backlog or things like that, then we'll reach out to the chair and see if there's a willingness to hold a special meeting. But if for now, your regular meetings will be the second Thursday of each month, and it would only be if we had some compelling reason, we'd contact the chair about the need for a special meeting.
Okay, thank you. I believe we still haven't had anybody join for a public forum, have we, Dustin?
We have not, so it's still the board and staff and Salina Media Connection.
Okay. Well, given that, if nobody else has any other items to discuss or bring forward, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All right.
Second.
So moved and seconded.
In favor of the motion.
Roll call vote.
Board Member Kitchen,
Aye.
Board Member Noonan,
She said aye.
Board Member Martins.
Aye.
The motion to adjourn has been approved.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Everyone for participating.